Honey, yeah, you so sweet. Hey.
Get in, honeys. We are doing our makeup and yapping about Glamour Magic. Hey, honeys. Happy Venus Day. We're in my bathroom and I'm getting ready. And what better way to talk about Glamour Magic? It is something that as I talk more, share more on social media, the honeys are just always so interested in Glamour Magic. It's like, what is it? It just feels like kind of like y'all roughly know what it is, but maybe just aren't as sure how to put it into practice. If you go on my TikTok, you'll see like I did do a Venus Day rituals post where I did touch on some of my routines and things like that. But I figured we can just talk a little bit about it. So Glamour Magic is essentially using beauty, using makeup, using skincare, and all things that are connected to that Venusian energy of beauty, love, passion, utilizing that to manipulate energy, because that's what magic is, right? Magic is energy manipulation. I don't want you to hear manipulation and get kind of like the ick out of it. Essentially, when you are working your magic, praying, intention, you are trying to manipulate energy to circumstances to work in your favor. Some people, this is where we get light magic versus dark magic. Some people use that in a negative sense to harm other people. Some people use it to siphon other people's energy. We're not doing anything like this. We are using glamour as a tool of spiritual empowerment, to boost our confidence, to enhance our personal magnetism, and that is essentially what Glamour Magic is. Even before I publicly shared my gifts as an intuitive, as a psychic, as a healer, I was in the fashion industry. I worked in fashion pretty much my entire career up until like 2018. I went to fashion college. I interned at fashion and beauty brands. And so I've always been a fashion girl, but I will say my love for beauty really came into play when I was working in the fashion department at Nylon magazine. Shout out to the Nylon girlies that work with me. Shout out to my girl Chooch. If you're watching this, hey honey. Also shout out to Brandon Blackwood. I met him when we both were interning at Nylon together. And he actually started his handbag brand when we were in college. I can't remember. I feel like he was going to Bard. I can't exactly remember what college he went to, but we didn't go to the same school. But I do remember being invited to the very first preview of Brandon Blackwood bags, which is just so iconic and so cool. So fun fact, shout out to BB. But when I was interning at Nylon, I really, really fell in love with beauty, because if you know, you know. When you work at a publication, the editors are constantly being sent products. They're constantly being sent new products to try, new products to add into their daily rituals. Everyone is trying to, as a publication, you essentially are a correspondent for the culture, you're a correspondent for the people, and you are informing people what is the next best thing. What are the next best beauty rituals that people are doing? What are the next best lip products or skincare products that are, popularizing? So when I was working at Nylon, I started in fashion, but I built a really cool relationship with the accessories editor. And this is also like, while I was working at Nylon, I was also working with Jules Kim. She's iconic. She's the one who designed my wedding rings, who I actually partially designed it too with her. And I also was working at Pamela Love. So although I was working in fashion publications, I really had an interest in jewelry and just sacred adornment then. That's what I was always into, right? But working at Nylon, and they used to have this freebie, a freebie table where like they just didn't want to be wasteful. So any samples, any products, even like books. I have like the dopest art books, coffee table books, even those things they would put in like this freebie section, but a lot of them were beauty products. A lot of them were skincare products, makeup, and that is truly where my love of beauty began. Now, I will say, my mom has always been a beauty girl, but my mom has been a natural beauty girl like forever. My mom's approach, her modus operandi for beauty has always been kind of like what Amicole was like their mission, like skin and beauty, but better. You know, looking like a glowier, dewier version of yourself was the most important. My mom wasn't into the cut creases. She wasn't like a huge eyeshadow girl. She was really big on like bronzer and illuminator and lip gloss and eyeliner, and that was pretty much my mom's thing. So naturally that was my thing too. I started off loving beauty from like a very natural, dewy girl approach, but I really started to appreciate the art. And I'm an artist too. Like, I design jewelry. I'm also, some of you guys may remember in circa 2016, 2017, when my mom and I had Brown Girl Alchemy, I was really exploring my digital art as a medium. I was an archivist, a collagist. So I really appreciate art. So I started to really get into the art of beauty really in college. If you look through, maybe I can find them here, but even if you look through like photos of me in college, I really was experimenting with my beauty. One thing that I really was into, like I used to do the 3 dots as eyeliner. Like I used to really play around. I loved a graphic eye. That was kind of like one of my signatures. I loved a graphic eye. And I truly feel that this exploration with makeup, being playful with makeup, I don't know, I just really, really enjoyed it. And it stuck with me, and I think throughout the years, I've played around with different types of beauty styles. That could also be my Aquarius, having an Aquarius stellium, and just being kind of future forwarded and just willing to try different things. And yeah, my love for beauty has really like taken off. When I was introduced to beauty, like through my mom, it was never honestly through like the male gaze, like, oh, you have to wear makeup because so that you can be attractive or so you can be desirable. It was never about that. It was really about feeling good and looking like yourself, but again, just like more enhanced, more alive, more glowy, more zhuzhed up. I feel like a lot of the things that I do spiritually were things that I've always done or have always been connected to, but I feel like the last 10 years was when I was able to truly put like language, give it language, and being able to identify exactly what it is that I was practicing or like what exactly it is that I was doing. So I want to say I probably start experimenting with beauty magic in college. So that would probably be like 2011 to 2015. I graduated LIM in 2015. And I would experiment when I would go on dates. Like, who's this guy that I'm gonna go on a date with, or this girl that I'm gonna go on a date with? And how, like, what's their vibe? And just also like, what's the vibe that I'm trying to go up on? So if I was dating someone a little bit more sophisticated, I typically dated people that were older than me, but like when I was dating someone who was like a little bit more sophisticated, I may opt for like a red lip and just like really sleek, slick back bun and like, you know, like kind of Phoebe Philo vibes. And essentially when you're playing these different characters, that's a form of glamour magic. So back to the definition of glamour magic, it is essentially using your beauty, using makeup, using your beauty tools, glamour tools as a way to manifest, as a way to enhance your confidence, again, personal magnetism, and also just feeling better about yourself, feeling more connected to yourself and enhancing your personal power. I think I love the idea of beauty because because in a way it's like role play, you know? Like, who can you become today? What energy are you embodying? What's the vibe that you want to give off, you know? So, see? Okay, this is fun. So I'm gonna really start off with this oil. This is my devotion oil. You guys will be able to access this soon. My mom and I created this together, and it's been brewing for about 4 years, so it's very potent. So I'm connected and in tune with my divine feminine energy. I'm so magnetic. Ooh, okay. I really want to go for something very, very blushy. And I haven't been wearing eyeliner, so I think I want to do something like that too. I'm going to start off with this Glow Recipe Watermelon Niacinamide Hue Drops. We're going to start there. I love Glamour Magick, and it's become a staple in my spiritual practice as a priestess, because one thing that I've realized having my own business, I believe this is year 8 of entrepreneurship, is fashion and beauty make me feel productive. So when I look good, I feel good, I do more. When I look good and I'm ready, I don't have to get ready. When I look good and feel good, it's easy for me to hop on camera rather than being like, oh, I have to, rather than asserting content days, like this is the days that I get ready. If I get ready, then I'm more prone to just picking up the camera and being like, hey honeys, da da da, you know? So for me, beauty magic has been a way of getting me to be more productive, more tapped in with my work, giving me the confidence to show my face more. It's not like I don't have the confidence, honestly, y'all. I'm a very confident woman. I'm just a homebody at the end of the day. I'm a homebody. I am a wife. I'm also mom that homeschools. So my home, I'm also ruled by my 4th house. I'm a 4th houser. 4th house rules, I have a 4th house stellium in Sag. So I think also my 4th house makes me very comfortable in my home. And even with my Mars being in my 4th house, my Mars in Cancer being in my 4th house too, it's like even when I'm doing things, even when I'm taking action, it's usually in the comfort of my home and my safe space. And with being in your home, that energy can get a little bit stale and stagnant. And I think also when you're home too, it's just like, I ain't got nobody. It's kind of like, you're like, I don't really have anyone to impress, you know? But the thing is, Glamour Magick, when I see it on TikTok, I feel like everyone is talking about it through a lens of being magnetic and attracting like your dream partner, or what they call it, like your SP. And for me, I feel like Glamour Magick can be used to make you feel good and to strengthen your self-confidence. And as a reminder that you don't need an excuse to be hot. I don't need an excuse to be hot. Like, I don't need to have plans for me to look sexy. I don't need to do all of that. I can be in the comfort of my own home and still put on, still feel good, still look good. I just put on this Dew Glow Tended Moisturizer SPF 50. It's in the color Deep. It's a little bit darker than me. However, I will say I like this because I am a little bit tan this summer. Well, I'll say my summer tan is still there. Shout out to the Atlanta heat, because Atlanta really got me nice and tan. And then I'm going to use my Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin thing in the color 9. And I'm just going to use this to bronze myself up. Now this is where the Glamour Magick comes into play. Essentially, any magic is what we say is just simple intention, you know? It's about what your intention is. This bronzer, I am glowing, honey. I am literally glowing. All eyes are on me. I love my brown skin. I'm so fucking beautiful. And this gives me a sun-kissed glow. With being sun-kissed, I'm also telling the universe, yes, I want to travel. I want more sun. So I'm also going to, like, as I'm doing my makeup, I'm also reciting affirmations. I'm thinking about, like, how is this beauty product gonna serve me? For me, I feel like bronzer, glow, travel. It's like I get paid to travel, I get paid to exist. Brands and companies want to fly me out so that I can have this phenomenal glow, you know? Here's the thing. I probably should have mentioned that Glamour Magick and Fridays, they go hand in hand together. Fridays are ruled by Venus, right? The planet of love, the planet of beauty, the planet of sensuality, sexuality, joy, pleasure, the things that connect you to yourself, lovers, romance. We're all hot honeys here. So I think we all like to take care of ourselves. So when you have these appointments, hair appointments, nail appointments, makeup, eyebrows, lashes, whatever, try to do them on Friday to tap into that Venusian energy. My pencil is not sharpened. You have to make sure that you work that Naturium moisturizer, this tinted thing, into your skin, especially if it's a little bit darker than you or lighter than you. My eyebrows are sharp, like my attitude. I'm okay with my brows for now. I'm gonna clean them up, but I just feel like once I put a brow on, I really don't have to do anything else. So now that the brows are on, let's truly get a very, like, highly concentrated blush in. So y'all know, like, I definitely love a good blush, but I want to give Painted by Esther. I want to give, like, undeniably glam. So I have to find a blush that kind of suits me. Also, I hate that Amicole is closing out, but I love that I just secured some things with that final sale. I got like 3 blushes. Maybe I'll show you guys when they come. But even when you're doing your Glamour Magick, you may want to put in, this is the thing, these, as girlies, these are things that we already do. I feel like you guys want an explanation of what it looks like, and you're already doing it. You just need a little bit more intention to, like, you're already doing the glamour, you just need a little bit more intention to make it the magic, if that makes sense. Like, all of these Glamour Magick things that I speak about are typically, like, you're already doing it. So I also don't want you to, like, kind of force it, you know? So I'm gonna do my favorite tried and true here, especially with me wearing orange. Like, notice how I'm going under the eye, up here, and I love to use this Rare Techniques blush 200. So it's a fluffier brush, so I feel like you just get more from, like, you can kind of blend and spread it out. So notice how I'm going under and I'm going up. I'm even going, like, in here. And when I walk in the room, I literally make people blush. They're like, who is that girl? Who is that girl who is so sexy, who is so hot, who is so sweet, who is so sure of herself? And I don't just make people blush, I make myself blush. When I wear this blush, I feel connected to my hottest, healthiest, richest self. I feel put together. I feel absolutely in love with myself. So those are the things that you want to say to yourself as you are putting on your makeup. It is no different than prayer. If you're really in the spiritual shit, then you know about energy, and you know how everything has an energetic vibration, and you also know that, like, that is essentially why we pray over things. Like, this is why we pray over our food. We pray over our foods because we want to bless the food, we want it to sustain us, we want it to give us energy, we want to bless the hands. Essentially, you're doing that. Glamour Magick is doing that, but you're blessing your tools, you're blessing your makeup. To add on to this, you can create your own altar. You can create your own beauty altar. You can put it at your desk. This is where you have your skincare products. You can charge your things with herbs. You can have, like, beauty herbs around you, like Jezebel root orris root, rose, catnip for attraction and beauty, even cinnamon. So you can create your own sacred space too, to do your glamour magic. And if you don't have the space for that, it's more or less just you doing it with intention. At this point, it's like you pray over your food. Why not pray over your makeup, you know? Also, I realized I have this light. Let me turn this light on. Is it a little better? Okay, so I feel like this light is a little bit better. So I just pulled out this e.l.f. Putty Blush in the shade Bahamas. I didn't used to like this. It's like a nice coral, but I think for the vibe that I'm going for, it's going to work. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Do you guys see that? It has like some pinky, cooler tones to it, where the other one is a little bit more warmer. So I actually like the combination of mixing warm and cool. I promise this won't look crazy soon. And why not, while we talk about glamour magic and makeup, when I'm done, maybe we should pull a little beauty card, style vision card for whenever you're seeing this. I know my honeys love the style visions. I've also been thinking, like, I know that the style visions are truly an investment, but you have to keep in mind that once you get a style vision, you kind of don't need another one unless it's like, you know, you want your style vision for like, unless, you know, you want your style vision for like for a performance or like for an event or something like that, you know? You kind of don't need to constantly get them. However, we do kind of switch up our style and beauty as the seasons change. I'm using this Yummy Skin Tint Serum. I love this in the color 12. Just putting a few dots. As you guys can see, I haven't put anything on the base of my skin. I just bronzed a little bit. I don't feel like I need that much product on my face, and I actually prefer not to. So I'm gonna kind of cover even some of that blush and just give myself a nice, just even, wherever there is hyperpigmentation, I tend to get some like on my forehead. I'm definitely darker on the sides of my nose, so I'm gonna do that. So I blended everything out. If you want to get started on Glamour Magic today, one thing that I recommend is starting with your intention. Waking up, what energy, what's the vibe, what's the mood, what am I trying to radiate? What is my goal, right? So if you have a date today, you know, and maybe you just want to feel sexy, then that would trickle down. There's so many layers to glamour, right? You have your hair, you have your makeup, you have your skincare, you have your fragrance, you wear your jewelry, your accessories, the shoes that you wear, your shoes carry your path. Think about all of these different facets and how you can bring the magic and intention into it. So for instance, today I woke up and I was like, it's Venus Day, I definitely want to do like some makeup, some beauty things for the honeys. I haven't been posting on YouTube, and I'm so close. I'm one video away from getting monetized, so this will hopefully be the video that gets us monetized. And once I do that, I'll definitely be a lot more present on YouTube. But I was like, let's wear orange. I really felt connected to orange. Orange is the sacral chakra, ruling creativity, joy, passion, and you know I like my warm tones too, so I have a brown headband. I also have like a brown belt on. I'm putting this Choco Musk oil on. I love perfumes, but I also find that they don't have the staying power that they really should. And granted, yes, I do be buying some cheap shit sometimes, but not always. I do love a dupe though. So I find that wearing oils and at least layering with them, layering the oils, you get a little bit more wear out of it. So I'm going to just kind of like carve this out a little, highlight my nose before I do anything else. And I'm using this makeup by Mario, deep dark soft sculpt stick. So when I do this, it's like I'm highlighting my nose, my senses are sharp, my discernment is keen. I can smell bullshit from a mile away, but I can also smell genuinity from a mile away too. So this contour, this nose contour is sharpening my discernment. I like this. I know y'all, every time I do my makeup, I feel like I'm doing the same makeup over and over again, which is why I wanted to start that series. Not I wanted to, that's why I started that series, face card pulls on, I've only done one so far, but you guys should follow me on TikTok for like the day-to-day. I do post a lot of like lifestyle stuff there. But my face card pull series is essentially like I'm pulling a card and then I'm doing makeup based on that card. You know, we're innovating. That's the thing too, if you want to get into Glamour Magick. Looking at your Venus sign will give you like a nice little approach to your skincare, your beauty, your fashion, your style. I'm Venus and Aquarius. We are very future forward. So we like to experiment with different things. However, my Venus in Aquarius is in my 6th house. So it's like once I experiment, it kind of becomes like my go-to. If I find something that I really like, it kind of just becomes like my go-to, part of my routine, part of my practice. Let's run down a few. So if you are Venus and Leo, Leo is really big on hair. So Venus and Leo going for blonde hair, going for ginger hair, even going for red hair, curly hair, natural hair, like that is going to help you feel good. That's going to help you stand out. If you're, say, like a Venus in Virgo, your approach to skincare and beauty, you are a clean beauty girly. You like the clean beauty. You like the no makeup. You like the road, you know, the road amicole kind of vibe. Even like Glossier vibes. That is really going to be your jam. So here's the thing. I did put this serum over my makeup, so I am going to go back and kind of like intensify this color. Okay, so I'm gonna go back, use this Revive brush, this side, Bahama Mama, and really pack this coral on, like really get it on. I like to put my makeup a little bit higher. As you guys see, like I have big cheeks, like do not remove your buccal fat. That is what keeps you looking young. All these bitches are looking old, no shade, but some of this shit just don't be necessary. Like I hate to be that person, but like I'm all for what makes you feel better. But I feel like a lot of people just follow trends, beauty trends, makeup trends, skincare trends, and I feel like you end up doing yourself a disservice. Because we have to remember that we all look different. We all have different types of facial structure. We all have different like undertones and things. So like my approach to beauty and what works for me is not going to necessarily be yours. But I feel like the beauty industry has just become this like one size fit all where everyone wants to do the same thing. Everyone wants to have the same look, but it's like, honey, that's not really like for your face shape or like your face frame, you know? So I feel like also part of the Glamour Magick is like truly recognizing your own personal beauty and like focusing on what you want to highlight. So I love my cheeks, I love my full face, but I do like to look a little bit snatched. So I tend to do my placement around here under the eye and bring it up into here. That way I'm getting a nice sculpt. Same thing with when I do my makeup. I actually prefer to not have a strong wing. I like a straighter line when I'm doing my makeup actually. So you might even see me go like this, just to kind of like straighten it out. Yeah. So think about what a concealer does. It covers things up. So we're gonna set the intention that this concealer is going to banish, remove any insecurities, any lingering doubts, fears, anything that is being projected onto me. This concealer cleanses me and banishes any fear, any fear of being seen or perceived, any insecurities that I subconsciously may be trying to mask. This concealer removes any negative thoughts, feelings, intentions that I feel about myself, that I've spoken towards myself. Next, I'm getting my One Size powder, and this smooths me out. My energy is clear and smooth. I can see clearly. My intuitive gifts are sharpened. My third eye is activated. All of my eyes are activated. My psychic vision is activated. And again, I see myself through the lens of the divine. I see myself through the way that spirit sees me. I'm flawless. My makeup is flawless. My spirit is flawless. My vision is flawless. My beauty is flawless. If you like a brighter eye, then you definitely want to go a little bit brighter. You may even want to put 2 different concealers. I'm using the e.l.f. Camo Concealer in the shade, damn, I can't see. I don't have really good eyesight, y'all. I can't see. I feel like this is either sand or walnut. And I just find that this works for me. And you can use a lighter one and go in the corners lighter, but that's not necessary for me. Like, I'm not going out tonight. I don't really need a super bright eye. I'm going to use this dewy finish spray. And now, one of my favorite parts of Glamour Magick is beauty marks. Beauty marks. Going over the beauty marks that I already have, as well as, I don't really add them. I just go over the ones that I already have. So I have one here. I don't know if you guys can see, but I'm gonna just darken it here. I have one here, like that I covered up. So I'm gonna darken it here. Wait. I have one here. I'm a big believer too, and like, we have certain beauty marks that are for different things. You will find that a lot of psychics, a lot of people who are clairvoyant typically have beauty marks around their eyes, which is like what I do. I'm even starting to get freckles. I don't know if you can tell, I think I covered them up, but let me tell you too, the way that Glamour Magick works, it's about your intention. Everything is about your intention. My dad used to have freckles all over his nose, and I would be like, damn, and we're talking about a black man, like dark-skinned black man that have freckles. And I was like, damn, like I love my daddy's freckles. Why wasn't I blessed with freckles? Okay, of course, my camera decided to overheat, but I used to love playing with freckles, and we're talking about the SZA era, and I stopped, but I really like the beauty marks. But over the last year or so, I've been getting freckles, and I'm like, you know what? Yes. So I think the Glamour Magick is also helping me get freckles. Okay, so down to my last 2 final steps of my glamour rituals, my glamour beauty magic, right? So the lips and then the highlighter. So I like to typically I like a black liner, but I think for today I want to go with a dark brown. These One and Only Beauty Supply liners are my go-to, but you have to remember your lips do the talking, right? Your lips, your lip gloss, your lipstick, your lip balms, whatever you're doing, you can charge it with the intention to ensure that when you are speaking, you are heard, so that you can sway, you can persuade, you can enchant just by your voice, just by the words that you speak, right? So keep that in mind when you're doing your lips. I like to do this. Kind of go around. I'm personally not as precise as most of the girls. I like a go around one time, 1 or 2. Ooh. See? I like to go around 1 or 2 times. See, I don't really need to overline, but. And then this is when I kind of bring some of it down. And then blend as I go. I feel like this is a really good base for liner. This hologram Fenty gloss would just be T. See, it kind of gives that orange iridescent. My words are enchanting. When I speak, everyone stops and listens. The honeys love what I have to say every single time. This Milani blush and Bellini, I love to kind of just set it off. So I'm gonna put a little bit of this and just kind of go across my nose here and then here. Placement is also key because we're talking about highlighting. What do we want to highlight? I want to highlight the bridge of my nose. I kind of want to elongate my nose, right? And then here. Also, I just feel like we could definitely do more blush. Is it just me or can we do more blush? I don't know. I'm feeling like there's never, yeah, like why not do a little bit more on top? Also, putting it under your eye, it just makes everything blend a little bit more. Yeah, I like this. So then we take this Milani and we highlight. Every room I step in, I glow. My aura is so enchanting. I'm magnetic. Everything that I want wants me. My glow is irresistible and undeniable. I'm ready to be seen. However, I did forget this Ilia little stick, so why not put this here too? This is a Ilia In the Mood multi-stick. So you can put it on your eyes. Why not put a little bit on our eyes? I'm gonna do just the inner corners and yeah. I just feel like naked without earrings. So I'm gonna put these gold, notice how I'm wearing gold hoops. And this is the final look. How are we feeling? I feel like it looks so cute. I feel like it's sexy. I love how I'm playing with my blush and my shirt. I love my jewelry. Also, like I said, jewelry is the last step. So we're gonna get out of this bathroom. I'm gonna clean up a little bit and then we're gonna pivot to the office and pull a glamour message and then also put on my jewelry. Okay, honeys, so now we're sitting at our office. Let me give you a little view. So I have this little tray here. I keep a crystal here, a chrysocolla, which is tuned into divine feminine energy. And I charge my jewelry on my crystal. So the thing is, I'm not gonna tell you what I use what and do what for, but I will share. Also, let me put some of this hand cream on, because I want my hands to be also like nice and soft. I've had eczema since I was born, so I must admit I don't have like the most softest hands and feet, but we try, you know, we try. I have my grill here, so let's pop that in. Yeah, my wedding ring. The last thing I need to do, honestly, is just my nails. To add to this Glamour Magic, I have my manifesto. I've spoken about it on TikTok, how I essentially, to manifest, to align with the highest version of you. Let me put this up because the titties are just, woof. To align with the highest version of you, I find that writing a personal manifesto of like your dreams, your goals, who you are, who you're becoming. Also notice how like my hair did not, like what was the point of doing that? But keeping this mirror here, this is where we do the mirror work. This is where we speak to ourselves and affirm who we are, who we're becoming, and who we want to be, okay? So that's one thing that I want to share with you guys. And then we're just gonna close out with a quick self-concept Glamour Magic message. Angels, ancestors, and guides who serve the highest light and the greatest good. As you guys can hear, I'm in the city, so my window's open. I can't kind of like block that out. There's a little bit of outside noise, but angels, ancestors, spirits, and guides, what Glamour Magick advice, message, or guidance do you have for the honeys who are going to be seeing this? Network. Okay, so what I'm getting here is like around the time of you seeing this, you were supposed to be using Glamour Magick to appease to your network, to gain new contacts, new connections. So don't forget that Glamour Magick is not just like this personal thing. It's not something that so that you can just be attractive to your person or the people that you're dating. You can also use it as in a professional space. So I feel like that's the reminder from Spirit too, utilizing Glamour Magick so that you can get into new rooms. Also, you doing Glamour Magick will help you get into new rooms. So even just by you sharing your fashion, sharing your beauty, what you're wearing, you could be opening yourself up to new networking opportunities. And we have devotion. The most important thing is to stay devoted. Devoted to self, devoted to your practice, devoted to looking good and feeling good. So honeys, I hope that you enjoyed this Glamour Magick and Yak. This is the final look, the final vibe. And let me know below in the comments if you want to see more of this type of content. And I will see you soon.